Arthur.
Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. I am grateful to have the opportunity to participate in this debate on Scotland's economy and economic future. I'd like to begin by offering my congratulations to both Keith Brown and Fergus Ewing on their appointment. And I think it's worthy to note that the creation of a separate economy portfolio does, in my opinion, underscore the Scottish Government's commitment to not only taking Scotland's economy forward, but ensuring that all can share in the fruits of economic growth. Now, many of the contributions so far have, quite properly, been concerned with Scotland's economic progress to date. But in doing so, it must be borne in mind that when judging the merits of any economic performance, regional or national, a consideration of context is indispensable if we are to arrive at a credible evaluation. The economic context for nearly all governments across the globe over the past 7.5 years has been the fiscal catastrophe of 2008, with its corollaries of reduced credit and a prolonged period internationally of sluggish growth. For Scotland to have achieved, against this challenging backdrop, the longest period of consecutive growth since devolution, a significant improvement in productivity, and to have reached a record number of registered business is not only testimony to this government's economic stewardship, but more importantly, is testimony to the resilience and the talent of the Scottish people. Our challenge now is to take our economy even further forward. I strongly welcome the government's many specific commitments, in particular the 100% commitment to superfast broadband, which I know will be warmly welcomed in many communities, such as Howwood in my constituency of Renfrewshire South. I also welcome the government's broad economic strategy. Along with internationalisation and sustained investment in our infrastructure and people, innovation will be central to ensuring continued economic progress. It has been said that we are on the cusp of a new industrial revolution. Just as the internet and the smartphone have transformed our lives over the past 2 decades, so the Internet of Things and emerging technologies such as driverless cars have the potential not only to expand our economy, but to significantly increase our quality of life. Indeed, if we allow ourselves a moment to indulge and contemplate the coming decades, fields such as genomics and AI could effect as profound a change on the circumstances of humanity as the agricultural revolution or the splitting of the atom. Such are the prospects of an innovative economy. But just as future growth and prosperity requires an economy driven by innovation, ensuring inclusive growth and shared prosperity will always require an openness to innovation in our economic thinking. Technological progress has brought us many good, but it has had its consequences and challenges. Mature economies across the globe have all been subject to increasing stagnation of low and middle incomes and the construction of medium-skilled jobs. With developments in automation, robotics and artificial intelligence accelerating, and the growing centrality of digital information to our economic way of life, we are approaching a fork in the road. We must ask ourselves how we integrate such advances into the economy today and in the future. We can employ these advances of the coming decades for the good of all, or we can blindly place our trust in the market alone, with the dreary inevitability that advances made by the many will lead only to profit for the few. Along the path of unregulated market forces lies increasing inequality of income and ever-increasing job insecurity, already evinced to some extent by the emergence of the gig economy. However, should we choose the progressive route and harness the products of innovation for the common weal, it is within the power of this generation to create a truly great society. The path to this positive and progressive future lies not in the political tribalism of the false binaries of public and private, government and enterprise, state and entrepreneur. Rather, it is in the collaborative approach that has been the hallmark of this government. a willingness to support business and, in times of difficulty, to step in, a commitment to champion commerce through rates relief and a drive to grow our exports, and above all, striving to ensure that ordinary workers, the fundamental wealth creators in our society, receive a living wage. We have come a long way, and yet there is distance to travel. Our generation can be the one to realise a truly just society. I commend the Government on its achievements to date, and I encourage the Government to continue to be bold in their vision for our economy's future and our country's future.